Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you in another video. All right, so I was able to vent about my therapy session just now, and now I'm talking about something else, an entirely different video, a different topic. So, as I said in the video I made earlier today, walking to my therapy session or to the train station, I saw something this morning that was just equally as disturbing as it always is when you see footage or photos of what's going on in Gaza. And it was a family who had been unalived. The father was laid out next to his 3 or 4 children. I don't remember how many it was, probably 4. Oldest one didn't look like she was no older than 12. The youngest one was a baby. All laid out. And I'm not sure how they were unalive, but like, this is an image that I saw today. Okay, this genocide continues, you guys, and the people who are losing their lives are real human beings. They're real human beings, and I understand that we're in a world right now where if you're trying to save people you care, if they pass away, you just lump it into that space in your head where you have to cope with that, and a lot of people have coped with that very easily. Person dies, they died, no problem. That's how a lot of people, especially in this era, look at death. It's like, we want to save it, we want to save it, we want to save it. Oh, he died. Let's watch the Laker game. Like, that's how a lot of people approach death. And so as it pertains to genocide, it's like, well, I think a lot of people are looking at it like, well, what you want me to do? They're going to kill these people going to die, and when they die, they're in the past. And they don't have any urgency about saving them. They rationalize saving them and weigh it against how much it can hurt their political positioning or hurt their political point of view or their relationships and their lives. They don't want to hurt their friends' feelings. Like, if the Jews want to kill these people, I'm not gonna like lose my friendship or my what's the word, my whatever you're trying to hold on to in your life, your job or whatever, your opportunities with these with the Jewish person that may be available to you, whatever connections they may have or their friendship or whatever. You know, they may be your family member, or you may have married into the family. You're not trying to ruin your standings in their lives just because they on this holy mission to hurt all these people. But what it really comes down to is these people are savable. They need food. They need politicians who are not going to fund what's happening to them. They need people and citizens in the places where this is happening to care enough to put pressure on those politicians, and furthermore hold these politicians accountable to whatever degree possible so that there can be some saving these people. These people are savable. They need food, they need water, they need formulas for their babies, they need medicine. And it's that space of indifference from the onlookers who are affecting this nonsense that make it so that it's impossible for them to be saved, so that their nightmares are a reality, so that their pain is possible. And that is ridiculous. This isn't a natural disaster. These people going through this, it's not natural. It's an unnatural, thought up and deliberate plan being worked by several nations in unison with one another. This is murder. This is organized genocide, y'all. Well thought out, well planned, and well executed. And I just want people to understand, like, this is, you're not far away from this. You're not separate from this. You're paying for this. You are making it possible. Your tax dollars, your indifference, your selective humanity, your alignment with those who will support it, your solidarity with those who support it. All of those things enable it to be possible. All of those things enable it to be real for those who are suffering it. And though you can't relate to that suffering, the context from which to have urgency is separate from your reality, because you've never experienced anything even close to that and don't expect that you ever will. And so because of that ignorance, their reality is impossible to deal with. Because not only can you not relate to it, but because you don't respect it, you don't have a heart for it. Because you don't have any way to relate to it, you don't feel the need to stop it from happening to someone else. And I think a lot of that has to do with how we were raised, our propaganda machine working generationally throughout the course of the last 500 years, rocking us into this space of caring about certain people and not others. In our own society, that conversation is not built around striving toward compassion, but more so striving towards supremacy and independence away from supremacy. As to say, if you ain't helping me in my case, I'm not interested in helping you in your case. That point of view is very rampant. It's a poison in our society's overall collective psyche. Either you're helping me through my oppression, or I don't care about yours. And then you got the people who are looking to be oppressed. Either you're allowing me the freedom to express my position, or you're suppressing me, and I resent your position because of it. Like, this is the position of many people in our country. And then it's like, okay, well, let's pick a side. Who's the problem? And all these different other things that lack nuance. The problem. Well, if it ain't my side, it's your side. Well, I present to you something that this side has done, you say, well, that side did it too. As if this is an either-or conversation with simplicity attached to it. It is not. Our government and our way of doing things is not as simple as the Democrats or the Republicans, the evil side versus the liberal side, or whatever the hell people think. It's not that simple. Both sides work in conjunction, controlled by energies behind them who are often in the shadows. And they want to remain as if they look as if they're at odds with one another when they actually work together to make things happen in this country. That's what the truth is. And if you pick a side, you're easily walking into one of the traps that are in place by the puppet master behind it. That's the truth about Democrats and Republicans. They both work together, and you're not supposed to know about it. And you go down the rabbit hole of information, it's exactly what you're going to find. And they're going to always position themselves as if they're against one another, morally, structurally, and one side is going to be deeply believing that the other side is wrong and that they're right, and that the whole object of the game is to win, as opposed to actually tackling individual topics with solutions in mind. People just want to win. As long as they keep you thinking that simplistically, as long as they have you thinking that that's what it's about, they're going to always be able to do horrible things with your tax dollars that hurt other people. Like, that's really what it comes down to. And maybe you don't care. And maybe you were robbed of that. Because if you did care, it would be a better reputation for you and your family amongst the world. See, that's what ends up being lost as well. A lot of people have been taught that they're supposed to weaponize themselves against others, and it's about us winning and all these different things, which make them unlikable and ultimately targets. And then from there, we got the biggest army in the world, so we could poke out our chest. It don't matter if we targets, because if they try us, we're going to destroy everybody. Like this point of view that you're safe behind the greatest army in the world and that no one can harm you because you're just going to just crush everybody, has put you in a place from which to grow a lack of compassion and a lack of concern for a good reputation upon your own selves in the eyes of others. If you had any urgency about looking good in the presence of other people, you wouldn't be so quick to dismiss their pain and their perspectives, because you would know that there's consequences to such. America doesn't feel that it has to worry about the consequences of what happens when it does things to other people, because nobody's more important than it. And you know what that mirrors? The same perspective of those who are carrying out this genocide, that they are greater and better than everybody else, and that they don't have to answer to nobody, and they don't have to respect nobody nor themselves in the presence of anybody, because that's not important. What's important is we can crush anybody, and so they better get down or lay down. That cockiness is a lie. Those who are in place to back that up can't effectively back that up every time. You leaning on that confidence to assure your safety is one of the biggest mistakes that America is making. And we need to understand that we can lose a war. Bombs can burst in air over us. You know what Israel thought? They thought that they had something that could ward off any system of bombs coming their way. That Iron Dome is supposed to be able to stop any bomb. What they're finding out is that bombs are bursting in air all over them. Why? Because that could only work so much. You can't have supreme confidence behind something like that and expect it's going to match your confidence as you continue to weaponize your anger around the world against others. Eventually, you're going to realize that there's more angles from which your enemies are going to attack you than you have the ability to stop. And it's not an Iron Dome. It's bombs that you're sending at bombs that are ultimately going to intercept bombs. And you run out of those. So you shouldn't just think you can pick wars and fights with everybody all the time and expect that you're going to be able to defend yourself every time. And that's the confidence that both of these nations are engaging in. And that is propaganda instilled in us so that we will be indifferent, so that we will develop a cognitive dissonance, if that's a word, toward other people suffering, and then furthermore think we're righteous in the process of engaging in that indifference. It is a problem, and we need to purge ourselves of that cockiness before it gets us all in some real trouble. And so I'm trying to help people with that. We got to do a lot of work on ourselves to unlearn the nonsense that put us in this position in the first place, and we ultimately can't just sit back and watch people suffer and think, well, that's their problem. I'm behind the big army and military that's going to be able to crush all of my opponents, so I can just do whatever I want. Eventually, that thing is going to get tested. And just like the Iron Dome, it's going to be pushed aside. And then it's going to be you and those you've allowed to be hurt on your dime. And just it's you at their mercy or your ability to defend yourself against it. And I'm telling you, we've earned that, America. We've earned it. We've earned that. And maybe it's not our fault that we developed the choice to earn that. Maybe we had that instilled in us over generations of time of propaganda that we bought into. Lies that pumped our chests up. But we better unlearn it. Because it ain't their fault that we've been coerced into a space of cockiness. The people that we've hurt and the people that we've allowed to see us not care about them, it ain't their fault that we didn't know no better, and they ain't gonna care when they come knocking on our door looking for revenge. And you can paint them out to be the worst people in the world or whatever, but at the end of the day, if you would have cared and you would have did something about their suffering, they wouldn't be coming knocking on your door. And they wouldn't have as many allies supporting them beating you, because that's exactly what America's going to be running into. We got a whole world of people that know we on the wrong side of this situation, and yet we are the last ones to find that out. People you think gonna want to save your backside are gonna want to see your backside blown out because they watched you not care while those other people were suffering over there. Y'all better wake up, America. I'm telling you, man. You gotta come up out of this matrix, because it's making us look worse in the eyes of the rest of the world. And as they look upon us, they all gonna be coming together eventually to knock us off, because it's gonna be the difference between them being safe or not. That's what I've come to understand. They're gonna be wise for knocking us off. That's what we gonna come to understand. When you get to a point where you realize that you didn't did nothing but bully people, and then dance in their face and shine and floss in their face, all of the different things that you've plundered from them, eventually they're going to come together and say, man, let's get this bully up out of here, bro. We ain't going to have this bully continue to stomp us out for another 1,000 years. We got to come together to stomp them out. And that's exactly what America's going to find out is really the only solution to the world's problems. So we're going to find out. Just like we're the catalyst to the world's problems, us and our allies, stomping us out is the solution to the world's problems. And that's what people need to understand. And you can call me the worst guy in the world, treasonous this, treasonous that. But like I said, I'm watching the stuff that we're doing. I'm watching the stuff that we're doing. And I'm telling you, if you don't start, there won't be nothing. You want a good reputation? Leave a little on the table so other people can eat. Bring a Band-Aid when somebody's cut. Don't sit up there and give them the finger when they're sitting there pleading and hollering and saying, I'm hurt, help me. And then expect for people to just sit back and celebrate your success. That's not how that works. Whether you knew better or not, whether you was raised right or not, you better unlearn that, or it's going to get you beat up. And that's what it is in the streets. Just the same. You can go around trying to take from people. You want to rob somebody, you ain't got no real gun. You go walk up to them, stick them up, and you got your fingers or something like that. What you gonna, man? You lose your life out here. But I didn't know no better. My uncle taught me that when I was 2. Well, your uncle got you killed. And that's the essence of the American psychology, essentially. We were taught how not to give a shit. It didn't work. And we're going to find out that it gets our ass whooped. And we better understand that, man, sooner than it happens. Or we're going to be caught off guard by the consequences of our actions. BDO 44, I thank y'all for watching. I'm out.